Hi everyone, it's me, Darlene. I am back with another video where you get to watch me take a bunch of scraps and turn it into something. This, if you can tell, is from the Strips and Squares BATIK quilt that I did not too long ago. I will have a link to that down below. And I know I have a lot of scraps in this bag. I mean, quite a bit. I've done things with less scraps and come up with some pretty big projects. So let's see what I have. I really have no clue because I really don't remember, but I do see that I have some bags of little tiny bits of scraps. I don't know why I would have bagged that separately. Well, okay, these are the reds. These are the sticks. These are the salvages. I think maybe I was going to just do an eBay penny auction for these, but I guess I decided not to. I thought, okay, I'll use them. Oh yeah, I think I thought that I would show a way to use these, because I sell a lot of those and I like to give people new ideas. See, more sticks. So I have the sticks and the salvages and the folds of the green and the same for the red. And then, ooh, look, nice big piece. And I do have some strips and squares sewn together that are left over. This, I believe, was part of the border. Hard for me to even remember. Ah, look at this. Look at all these that we have with the squares attached. And then a lot of just leftover strips from cutting. And look, a whole little stack of squares. Okay, we have a lot to work with for this one. I'm going to put my thinking cap on and see what I'm going to do to just get this started. I have about 64 salvages and 33 folds. Here I have 15 salvages and 8 folds. The squares, I ended up with 30 of those little squares. I'm actually going to take you to the machine and I'm just going to start putting together some strips. I have way more salvages than folds, and I have way more green than red. I'm going to start by just chain piecing a salvage to a fold and then to a salvage. So 2 salvages to 1 fold, and I'm doing just the green, and I have enough variety here to try to, you know, not put 2 of the exact same together. I'm not concerned with that. Now, BATIK salvages are barely there. You know, they're not thick like other salvages, so I'm not going to do top stitching. I'm just going to connect these as though it's, you know, 2 pieces of fabric. And the folds are all different heights. You know, I'm just not trimming anything. That's the beauty of this, is we don't have to do all that work. So I'm just going to sew them together. Let me do, I don't know, I'll probably stop at like 10. I did 10 of these, and I'm just going to snip them now. Now I will turn these, and I'm going to put a salvage on the other end. And I will send all of these guys through. I just realized that this piece, I put the salvage on the salvage. I'm actually going to take that apart because it takes 2 seconds. It's just a little tiny bit to have to pick. I just want to get the salvage on the opposite side. Easy as that. See if I screwed up anywhere else. I don't think so. It's easy to screw up. Let me continue, and then I'll be right back. Now I have all of those done. I'm going to go ahead and stick a red square to the end, one end of every one of these. Now I have 10 mini strips that look like this. It is a couple of days later, and since I really didn't know what I was doing, I just kept adding to these 10 strip sets that I started. I just added the same to each one, so they're kind of a little bit alike. This one's very crooked. Some of them are kind of crooked. This one's nice and straight. I don't know how come I don't do them all straight. Seems like I should be able to do that. And so this is what I have. And I'm still, you know, kind of clueless. And then for regular little scraps, I still have these sticks. I haven't done anything with those yet. And then I have this left for various squares, salvages, and I think there are a couple folds. And then I have all the big stuff. Now, I do want to use all these little sticks as top stitching. I'm just not sure, you know, what I feel like doing. I could just put them on like that. It just adds, you know, a little bit of detail and just zigzag on those. And, but I think I'm going to switch gears for those strips for now and just try to figure out what to do with this stuff. I'm feeling like a tote bag needs to happen. I think that would be a good idea. And I say that only because I look at this and I think this is, you know, good for lining. And, you know, if I need to add to that, you know, I have some decent pieces. Oh my God, though, I forgot all about all of these. Okay, this is more than a tote bag. Rethinking it. I have an idea. Whoa, don't fall. I can't lose any scraps. I might end up making two different things. I don't know. Right now I'm just thinking about making fabric. I'd like to do something a la BARGELLO style where you make tubes and then you cut and then you put them together. Now, I think I would like this pattern, but of course there would be green filling in here. It would end up being square. But I have an idea of a kind of a different way to do this, to make it not hard at all. So here's what I'm going to do. This is my pattern for now. You can just see I started here, and then these, I just went up, up, up. I'm going to take this middle one, and I am going to just make a tube. I'm going to connect the ends. So I have a tube. It's still inside out. Now I'm going to cut it so that one side of the red, let's turn it this way just for now. I'd like to cut it so that one side of the red is about the same size as this. So I'm just going to, and you know, it doesn't matter. I'm just going to cut as straight as I can. So I'm just going to eyeball and just cut across, like right here. I don't even know. I don't know if this is going to work. I have an idea in my head, but I don't know if I'm going to be able to get it out there. So now we're like this. I want these to be cut in a way so that the rest of the green is here. So what I'm thinking is, maybe I should do it with a pencil. I don't know. I can't erase pencil off of fabric. I'm thinking if I mark a line here and then connect, but there's the seam allowance. I have to allow for that. I'm going to practice with a piece of paper. Hang on. I have a piece of paper here. I taped some scraps together. Scraps of paper. I drew where my little red is going to be. I just used this guy. Now what I'm doing, what I'm thinking is, I know that the red is here, so I want the red to be here, just up one step. So I'm looking at the end of where this is, and I'm just going to make a line here. That's going to be my cutting line, I do believe. And I'm actually going to go sew this piece of paper. So I'm going to, yeah, sew right sides together. So I'm just going to take it and sew it. So now I'll have an, you know, a 1/4 inch seam allowance. Now where's my line? I'm going to, it's on the inside, but I'm going to cut on that line I drew. Now let's see if that worked. It worked. See, I was afraid with the seam allowance. I didn't know if it was going to make one end stick out more than the other. It can be trimmed. And I could have adjusted a little bit, but that's good. I'm good to go. Let's get this out. Now this guy, I am going to go ahead and just mark a line. I'm going to be cutting on that line, and it's going to be hidden in a seam allowance. So I don't care if I do it, you know, with marker or what. And it's just, you know, give me an idea. Right there. And this guy is going to be, see, I'm continuing with this line. I could take a ruler. Let's get the ruler. I'm just going to make line, line, line. Now this one is done. I'm going to take all these others and make tubes out of them. I'm going to start with these two because I'll know that they go back right there. You guys, I'm going to try to explain to you why this is so choppy, this video. You heard the phone ring. I have since edited. I recorded through my mother's phone call because I really needed to get some stuff done, and I knew she'd be on the phone for a while, and I didn't want to make her hang up because she's 97 and her friend is, I think, 94, her only alive friend. I don't want to tell them they have to hang up. So I recorded through that, but I could really hear the conversation in all the footage, and it's just not fair. You know, my mother would never even have to know that that was out there, but no, I didn't want to do stuff like that. So I had to cut all of the footage out. And now we're to this point where I finished a lot of stuff, but I want to explain to you before I show you how awesome this came out. You saw me drawing a line on those strips, and then I did the same to each one of them. Let's pretend that it's like this. You know what I mean? They were, you know, in a certain order, just to refresh your memory a little bit. And I drew a line to where I needed to have the line drawn. And then I just took every one of those and, you know, flipped them up and sewed across. And then I took every one of those and I turned them right side out so I could see my line. And I cut on my line, and it worked out perfectly that when I laid them back down, this is what I got. Huh? I just love it. That was such a cool way of getting that BARGELLO kind of look. Now, you know, this is more like steps than BARGELLO. BARGELLO, you can move them in every direction. I did a really cool BARGELLO video a long time ago. I'll link to that down below. I think I turned it into a tote bag, if I remember right. So because my mother was still on the phone, I finished this one and I went ahead and made another one just like it. See how super cool this is? I really like this. Now, because I have so much fabric, there's no way I can do this in one episode. I thought I could, but I am going to stop here and, you know, start to think about what I want to do. And now I have all these little scrappy things. So I'd like to do something where I can tuck these in. I don't see a pillow happening. I don't know, maybe. I've got a lot of fabric here to work with. So I'm going to stop here for this video. And I can, you know, think about what I want to do. I don't have to make a tote. This could still be the beginning of a very unusual quilt top. I just don't know. I'm just going to continue making fabric. So in the next episode, you'll see what I'm doing, and we'll get something done. I'm excited to see how this turns out because I really love the batiks. I love the colors, the prints, and I think that no matter what I make, I'm going to really like it. Subscribe so you don't miss the next episode. Thank you so much for watching. Bye! Oh, and don't forget that everything I end up making, I might make 2 or 3 things, who knows, will all be on eBay as penny auctions. So you do have to come back to see what I make.